Hi everyone, delonewolf here and welcome back for some Path of Exile. This is going to be a first look at the Harvest League, the latest league in Path of Exile. So far it has been a very nice change of pace. I'm level 40. I have of course ascended to Necromancer and I'm actually at the moment building up towards the end of Act 4, where I will then have golems, which is also part of the plan. So I already have 2 specters that are buffing my army. I've got of course the Animate Guardian that eventually will have some nice buffing items, and then I will have to resummon some of my zombies who are like my bodyguards, although I still have to also work on getting them that meat shield support. Don't have the links for that just yet. Let's go, we're at 6. I think I can go up to 7. Let's see if it's not 8. No, looks like it is just 7. Okay, and then of course I am using the skeletons with the Infernal Legion support, who then explode when they reach 30% HP. I really think that this is very powerful. They basically scale up from minion damage and minion life, which is kind of huge. And of course they help to clear out the small stuff AoE around them. And then if it takes long enough, they just explode and they take everything with them. I have been super lucky. The very first Val gem that I found was actually a Val summon skeleton. So that is exactly what I need for bosses. And that's, I think, what we'll do for first typical Necromancer playstyle. I like it because I know it. It's very familiar, and it's also decently passive, of course. Let's see if we can't burn this guy down. Go! Come on, a little bit more. There we go. Mesh boots. Not sure if that's gonna be worth it. First few things that I noticed, I seem to get less drops. I'm not sure if that is indeed the case, but it definitely feels like it. It, for instance, took me a very long time to get my yellow rings and amulet, and it is in fact through the harvest mechanic that I created them, rather than find them through my drops. So that feels like it is a little bit different. And here we have the seed cache, so you can find one on every map. We're just going to grab that, but I'll do some harvesting after we take care of Calm. I think it is here, like that. I could go back and then I'll put this, so you have a separate stockpile for everything related to this mechanic. And you can see I'm actually storing my tier 1 seeds at the moment. I want to try to find the right system in order to get the most out of everything, which I think will mean building up quite a bit of infrastructure in the Harvest Garden. Alright, we can keep going, get some more yellows over here. But we're also coming towards yet another bridge with blues then. But yeah, you can see when my skeletons explode that they do a lot of damage, and on white mobs they just burn them down very quickly. So that's all going quite alright. Let's just add some more, and I think that this is that bridge. Yep, exactly. Caldera of the King. So there he is. I'm gonna summon my first 6 skeletons. Now when we get started, I'm gonna add in the Val summons, and they'll start exploding soon. We're taking a little bit of fire damage. See if we can't get out of that. And there we go. Problem solved already. We have the Eye of Purity, and he dropped some blue stuff. Yeah, to me it feels like the rare stuff has become a lot more rare all of a sudden. I will quickly give this to Navali, I think she's called. Oh no, Lady Diala. So let's go like that. Save me on a little bit of backspace, and then from any waypoint you can actually go to the Sacred Grove, where the entire league mechanic basically takes place except for grabbing the seeds. But up here on the left is where I'm trying some stuff. So you can see that I've got some fields going. Then here in between we have something called a storage tank, and then also a dispenser, which, if I'm not mistaken, is meant for tier 2 seeds. I don't fully understand the system just yet, but it's actually decently easy to do. And you can see I planted all of this at the same time, so pretty much all of it is ready for harvest. So we're gonna get started on this. Let's harvest this stuff. I just click on harvest everything that's available here. I summon some skeletons. These minions come through, and there's loot that drops, which I did not expect, but it's actually pretty cool, of course, because potentially it can give you what you need. All of that has been harvested. I also got a tier 2 seed, and then in here now I have options for stuff to do with the life force that I have. And actually the first thing that I need is another storage tank, so I'm gonna make that. So you also make your infrastructure through this system. I don't want to go into the crafting right now. I feel like once I get into maps, we'll look at it a little bit more closely, and I'm especially looking out for like minion stuff. I hope that I can do that. But you can see down here I do have a condense life force button, so we'll do that, and that then is brought to the storage, which I have then also normally linked to this dispenser. And then down here I've got another one just in case, but let's also do a yellow one. Let's see about this one. We'll clear that. Skeletons already. I do like it. My minions at this point are already pretty tough. You can see when the skeletons explode, everything gets broken down. And I was actually... took some damage there all of a sudden. I was building up to... There we go. Golem Commander. So once I get those gems, I'll be able to have those. And here we have some transformations that we can do. Augment an item with a new life modifier. That could be nice. Let's maybe try that on something that is likely to be able to be augmented. Something like this. And then I'll do craft. And then this has, well, it has an extra line. I'm not sure what it was exactly. Let's maybe try to do that here as well. So we have intelligence, armor, max energy shield, 19 max life, and 18 mana. And then if I use this, craft, intelligence, armor, 19, regenerate 1.8 life per second now as well. And so like this, you can keep doing that. I'm also going to condense this stuff, so that eventually, normally, I'll be able to get those tier 2s going. And then what I still need to do is put up a storage device, so that you just right click and then we can put it down somewhere like here. That'll work. And then from this pylon, I can now decide to also link it to the storage device. So all of this should, generally speaking, work. We still have some blue stuff. Let's harvest this one. Let's do 1, 2, 3. Let's blink out. Necromancer is a pretty good harvester of this life force stuff. And then let's take a quick look here. I haven't actually looked into what these do. Lightning modifier, chaos. So this is definitely more of the caster stuff. And then with 1800 we get a Horde crafting station, which I really have no idea what it does. But you can also see now that I could, with this for instance, I'm actually gonna do that. I'm also going to craft a full set of extra collectors, and that way you'll be able to basically expand your garden and eventually go to tier 2s and then go to tier 3s. And since we linked that, I'm gonna condense the rest of this as well, which has found its way in here. And I'm guessing that consumes condensed life force to feed high tier seeds. So let's actually maybe harvest all of this stuff as well. So these are definitely smaller, but it works. I don't think there's that much of a drawback. Now what I could do here is condense all of this. So we have nothing that's really minion stuff. No, let's condense that as well. All of this is linked, so it should get added in here, and then eventually we should have enough for tier 2s. So let's do that. There we go. We actually have a tier 2 here. So I'm going to, I think, try it right away. Let's condense that in here. And so you can just manually, within this range, I should be able to put up tier 2. So I'm going to try that like on this row. So I'll just right click it and I'll put it down here. And hopefully it'll take, oh no, requires wild units of condensed life. That's Aha! So that is interesting. I basically need to have this one and this one cross. So I would have to... Okay, and I think I can actually do that. So we're gonna take you. So with the control click, by the way, you can take everything back out. So I'm taking these two dispersers and I'm actually going to have them go like this. And then the other one will have to go something like that. And in between them, we should have a line where everything is ready, except I still need to link. So there is definitely a very different mechanic here where you have to build up and plan your stuff. But normally, now, my tier 2 seed, which I can also pick up again with a control click. And if I put it in between these two, it should be able to... it needs wild, condensed and vivid, and it should get it from this and from this. So we will see if that works. I think this is linked, so it should, well, maybe not actually. So both of these feed that, but this doesn't seem to be linked just yet. Well, we'll have to figure it out. This is after all the first look. We still have some stuff to do here. Let's also grab all of these. Let's put this up. Love it. Popcorn. There's one all the way out there. Oh, and one down here as well. But... easily finished and very much under control. Oh no, I'm gonna keep my instant. Let's do that. We'll sell this stuff, and then again we could forge stuff, so we could definitely do a lot of crafting, or we can condense, or we can make more stuff, which I think I'm going to use that to make another one of these as well. Now, something else that I wanted to show you guys is how you can then plant your stuff. So let's go to that seed stockpile. Up here, there's room for all of the things that you can make. And then what you can do, I'm actually going to put this tier 2 seed in here. But I can take, let's go with some higher level ones this time, so that my next harvest becomes harder, but potentially also more rewarding. So I'll start at the top. Something like that. I'll just take a number of them. And then what you can do, you just go back here, and normally we have a little hand up here, auto plant nearby seeds. There we go, all of this is planted, and that's, I actually have one spot left, which we'll need more of these for. Okay, so I'll take you, and I'll actually take more of this as well, some of the most common ones, just to make sure that I have enough. And you can also manually plant them. So if you want something very specific in a very specific place, you can do it like this as well. But it is of course very handy to have your setup ready and then to click auto plant. And look at that, all of this in a number of turns will be ready for harvest yet again. And here we still have some stuff left. I'm gonna condense that and then it should be ready. We don't have that much left, so I could actually probably plant pretty much everything else that I have, or keep saving it up. I actually have lots of yellow stuff left. Oh yeah, that's completely covered. And there you go, in a number of turns, which turns is basically do another map. All of this stuff will be ready for harvest yet again. And once you get into the higher tiers, I'm sure that there's some juicy crafting recipes that will unlock from this. We can always go back here and I'll quickly sell, and then maybe we'll get started on the other side here and keep going. So this is what I'm working on in Necromancer, which to start out with. I think pretty straightforward to play, also not that difficult to gear. And as a result, she'll probably be like my mapping character, but I do want to try some other stuff as well, especially the new brands, and actually two-handed weapon with one of the slam skills sounds like something that I'll want as well. And this is nice, we start off with the seed cage right away, so on every map that you run we have these potential seeds. So I can go back to the grove. I don't have to, right? You can just keep going. I'll put all of this in here for the next set, and then normally here, yep, you can see that a number, this one would take 3 more growth cycles, so 3 more maps areas to do. This one will take 2 more then. But eventually all of them will be ready for harvest. Just re-click those harvesters and you can keep going. I think you'll have some very cool and impressive, oh, and I misclicked here, very cool and impressive building mechanics as well, where you can build up large pipelines towards certain collectors and then try to get everything in the right spot for those higher tier seeds. Feed them off of certain places. This is just for me my first little idea to try and get tier 2s going, and I'll obviously try to find a much nicer and more effective setup than this. And let's take a look at this boss. He does bleed me, but yep, they don't last very long against my exploding skeletons. So we are starting on another league. I'm taking the coward's way in with another Necromancer, but it's pretty promising. And what I'm noticing as well, so far at least, is this one has been running very stably. I've been playing for a number of hours and I haven't come close to anything like crashing or experiencing problems or anything like that. I guess that's a big advantage of having the whole mechanic be pretty much in its own separate place, in its own separate area. So very cool so far. Definitely a big change of pace from the previous league, and I think I'm gonna enjoy this. So hopefully we can get into maps and push for a higher level than I have before, because there's definitely still like an end game that I've never really experienced in Path of Exile, and perhaps now with all the crafting and things like that we'll have finally get the option of experiencing that. And yeah, my minions are getting decently strong, and I can just stay away, of course, from all of that trouble. Prophecy completed. Let's see if we get some more stuff. Oh, I'm actually frozen here. Let's take care of these guys. And it could be the King's Blade. I'll take that. I'll take a Sacred Life Flask. And maybe I'll just try and finish this map or this area quickly so that we are ready to go towards the Ring of Blades, I think it is. There it is. That's maybe... Nope, there we go. Yep, this is that final area. So I'm also gonna use Val Summon Skeletons. The army is here. It just gets completely shredded. Super comfortable so far already. And I'm gonna focus basically my gear on having life, a very big buffer. Most of my passive skill points will go to minion stuff, and then hopefully I can just craft and maybe buy the right items. So there you go, guys. That's what I wanted to show you for the first look at the Harvest League. It looks very fun and promising to me. I look forward to doing more and sharing more with you guys as well. Thank you very much for watching, and as always, I'll see you next time.